All right, what's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. It is 2 o'clock here Eastern time, and back with another episode of Comic Collector Origins. We're on episode 21, which is really cool. I've been doing this for a few months now, and just want to say I appreciate all the support, people that have been on the show, people that I plan to have on the show, and everybody that just comes and hangs out in the chat or watches the replay. I really appreciate this. This show's been a lot of fun. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and just so you know, Comic Collector Origins is about the community members here. Interviewing them, talking, learning a little bit more about their origin story. We always talk about origin stories of characters, first appearances, all in comics and things like that. But this show is to learn a little bit more about the collector. So my guest for today is JR, aka RoguesLaw, over on Instagram, and he's also part of the Team Nerd Herd crew, who I see is in the chat. So let me bring JR in, and we'll kick this off. What's up, JR?
What's up? Thank you for having me, sir.
Dude, likewise. It's going pretty good, man. It's going pretty good. Staying busy, but man, I can't believe it's almost the end of the year already because things are just flying by.
Thank God.
I know. I'm ready for 2021, man.
I'm ready for 2022. Let's just skip 21 also, because we know there's going to be problems there.
Yeah. You're right. It's definitely gonna lag into the next year a little bit, but yeah, hopefully we're on the up and up as we get into the new year. Well, thanks for taking some time to be on the show. I appreciate it. I'm digging the shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I gotta rep my man.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, and we'll get into that for sure. Before we get into things, let me just say a quick hello to the chat. Then we'll get started. So Team Nerd Herd, that is your crew. Definitely going to ask you a little bit about them as well.
We have to.
You can describe them how you'd like. But good to see the crew in here. I'm sure each individual will be hanging out at some point. Sith Lordly in the house. What's going on, Sith? My question for RoguesLaw are why does he prefer Jedi over Sith? And what's up with the Yaddle pin up calendar? Nice. Maybe we'll get into that too. Thanks for stopping in. Good stuff, man. So, before we dive in, just you want to give us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a longtime comic book fan. Been reading since the early '90s. Back when the gimmick was the hype. Big Star Wars fan, big Marvel fan. Love pretty much everything except for Spider-Man. I have an undying hatred for him. Sorry, guys. It's been there since the 90s, and we're going on almost 40 years now, or working towards there. Not going to change. I'm the part of the Nerd Herd crew. We're a group of guys that met up at Comic-Con, became friends. Always say, when you're at cons, talk to guys next to you. I mean, I've known Ian and these guys for 7-8 years now, and some of the best friends I have. I'm probably the loudmouth of the group. I'm definitely the contrarian of our group.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch a show, I go by another name. I'll be nice and not say it here. But that's how I always am.
I dig it.
Yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell.
I dig it, man. I dig it. And we got a couple other people in the chat. Want to just say a quick hello to Alstrand's Comic Collection. What's good? And Alonzo's in the chat. Hello, Alonzo.
What's up, sir? Pop.
So, very cool, man. Very cool. And I love that you guys were able to meet. And like you said, at a Comic-Con, kind of is how all things started for you guys. So, we can get a little more into that as we get into details here. What's up, Mercy? All the way from Sweden. Good to see you, my friend.
Oh, wow.
So all right, let's jump into the questions, man. I want to know more about where it started for you. Like how I know you mentioned the 90s and things like that. How old were you, and what is your origin story of getting into reading and collecting and so on and so forth?
So I started right around Christmas time, actually. It was a Christmas gift. I hated reading. Absolutely hated reading. My mom made the mistake of buying me a comic. She bought me X-Men number 16.
Ooh.
It was a Jim Lee book. Beautiful book. Horrible story. Beautiful art. It was part of that Extinction Song storyline. And right around that time was when Superman died.
A lot of hype around that time, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so for whatever reason, that X-Men book just kind of had me fall down the rabbit hole. Mind you, I'd read little things here and there in the past. I remember getting like from Toys R Us like a 3-pack of GI Joe comics or Transformers. I remember reading like Wolverine 50 with the die cast cover, die cut cover. But never got into it until the X-Men. Um, and then I ended up working at a comic shop a couple years later. My parents were strong believers in if you want something, you have to earn your own money. They didn't like to hand out money. So I really wanted a bike, and there was a place near my house that had a comic shop, and I started working there and ended up falling more and more in love with comics. That's where I ended up falling in love with Daredevil. I ended up reading Man Without Fear miniseries, Frank Miller series, and which I highly recommend to anyone because it's just an amazing story, recapping his origin. I don't know where the hatred from Spider-Man ever came from.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
I just don't like him as a character. I think he's a boring character.
Okay.
I don't like Superman. I don't like Cyclops.
Right.
To me, it's all about being imperfect. I've always been the big kid, the guy with the glasses, the weird guy. So to me, I kind of stood out. And so I liked characters that stood out. Like Wolverine is my absolute favorite character of all time. And I kind of relate to him because he has that berserker rage, which I just, I had as a kid. I just would go off like that in a fight. And it just related to me. But as for the hate for Spider-Man, I think it's just, I always looked at him and go, wow, you got all this great stuff, but you cry all the time. And it's just like, you've got a beautiful wife that's a supermodel or girlfriend or whatever she's at the time. And I'm going as a kid, I'm going, I would love like give me a 7. You know what I mean? I wouldn't cry about it. He's got a great job. He's super smart. And I'm just like, dude, be a little happier with what you got. And ironically, like it's funny because like some of my biggest books I have are all Spider-Man books. Like I've got Kingpin's first appearance, but I love Kingpin because I define him with Daredevil. I don't put him with Spider-Man.
Right.
Now,
have you read? You've explored some Spider-Man in terms of their stories and the story arcs.
I have tried to read stuff. I've read like Maximum Clonage back in the day. Yes, I know it's a horrible storyline. I've read some stuff. I just can't get into them.
Yeah.
Like I've tried to read Superman books. I read all Reign of Superman. All that stuff. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But
draw the line somewhere.
But I can put up with Cyclops.
I was gonna say, the whole crying and stuff. I just started thinking of Cyclops when you were saying that.
Yeah, but at least he went bad at one point, and they kind of gave him a personality for like 5 years.
True, for like 5 years, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, so let's see. So it's cool that you worked in a comic book shop for a while. Are you still doing something like that now, or was that a while ago?
That was a while ago. I'm still really good friend. Like the shop that I go to now, I've known the owner since he bought the shop. And him and I are really good friends. In fact, like after this, I'm going to go down there and play games over at the shop.
Nice.
I play a board game called Terraforming Mars.
Okay.
And so him and I are close and good friends. I'm friends with another shop. I am a villain Sith Lordy. We just haven't established my getup yet. They keep trying to convince me I should dress up as Kingpin for Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
he's your man. So
yeah, I think I pulled off. But no, I don't work in the shops, but I'm pretty close to them.
Okay.
So
when can you recall your first time going into a comic book store? Was it, what was it, the shop that you worked at, or, what was that like when you went in? Did you buy anything? Did your parents buy you stuff? What was that like?
The earliest time I can remember going to a shop, there's a shop that was in an outside mall, and it was probably 3 or 4 years earlier. And I just remember all these back issue bins, and I mean, it was just you walk in there, and it was just like, wow, this is just amazing.
Yeah.
They had statues. I want to say they had like a Spider-Man on the wall coming like jumping out of the corner, the normal stuff like that.
Hmm.
Um, and it had that smell. And you know what I'm talking about when you go into a comic shop, it has that
Oh yeah.
funk.
Yep.
Um, and I remember loving it. I actually picked up, I want to say like a Nam comic book. My grandmother
Nice.
didn't know what the hell she was buying me. um, I remember picking up like that and picking up like a Punisher and something else.
Nice.
But after that, I jumped around to comic shops a lot until like I ended up out of high school, and then I got to the shop that I'm at now.
Right. Right. Okay. And you've always been on the West Coast?
Always on the West Coast, always in Sacramento.
Always in Sacramento. Okay. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, we've talked about a couple other shops around your area
Yep.
recently, I remember. I see Eric in the house. What's up, brother? Just my guest last week. So thanks for hanging out, man. Good to see you. So what about I mean, you brought up Comic Cons before. I'm curious about kind of your introduction to Comic Cons. Where were you in your life then when you went to your very first one, and who were you with, if you were with anybody?
So I was with part of the Nerd Herd crew, kind of going back to the origin of it.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of us kind of came from a different group.
Okay.
There was a group that was a Sacramento group that I was part of, that I'm still friends with the guys, that we used to go to Wizard World Comic Con. We used to play a game called HeroClix back in the day.
Oh, I remember them. Yeah.
And we were pretty good at playing HeroClix. We would actually go to Wizard World on purpose to play in the championships and stuff like that.
Mm.
So we started doing that, going down to Anaheim or LA and San Francisco, Long Beach, doing those cons.
Mm.
And then,
Ooh, kitty cat.
yep, this is my cat Loki. She annoys the
Oh,
shit out of me sometimes, but
what's up, Loki? I
um,
love cats.
yeah, she's a good girl, but she'll start bumping my head soon. But we would go to the cons and stuff like that, and then we started. I think we want to say in 2014 we decided to go down to Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, or try to go to Comic Con. And we got tickets, and I think 2 years, like the second year, we met up with Ian and them.
Okay.
And Ian was part of his group with Steve, and then Alonzo and Big Rob were part of the OC crew, as we call them.
Okay.
And so we kind of end up merging together. I kind of like called like the X-Men and the Avengers merged.
I love it. I love it. I remember Alonzo telling me a little bit when he was on the show, his first experience, kind of how you guys all got together.
Yeah, it was kind of funny because I'm always mean mugging in line. I always have I have resting bitch face. Sorry, but and I remember like Ian being in front of me in line, and we're just looking at each other like, who are you? Like sizing each other up the whole time. And then the next year we kind of found each other on Facebook and decided to team up.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. But that's how I kind of end up doing the con thing all the time. And since then, I've gone to Star Wars Celebration. I was supposed to go this year also. I've gone to New York Comic Con a couple times.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I'd love to go to a couple more. I'd love to go C2E2.
Mhm.
Love to go down to Florida for MegaCon.
Oh man, for sure. Hopefully we get all that stuff back next year.
We should. It'll take time. Probably 2022.
What's up, Kavi? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, brother. All right, so it's cool. Yeah, cool to hear the kind of the background, because I know I mean, I've heard kind of stories between you and some of the rest of the crew on how you guys kind of got together. Did you guys, I mean, so obviously you didn't have a YouTube channel or anything like that. Did when you started getting online more, I mean, you created Instagram. Have you had that for a long time? Did you know about the community that was on Instagram and also on YouTube within these past couple of years? Or
I've had Instagram for a while. It really took Ian to try to teach me how to use it. I mean, I'll be honest. I used it like everyone else used it for, or at least every other red-blooded male used it for.
Hmm.
And then I got kind of into the comic book community for it.
Yep.
Slowly but surely, I'm getting there. But I'm an old boy. I'm 40 something years old now.
Yeah.
So it's hard to teach a new, or what's the old saying, teach an old dog new tricks.
Yep.
That's kind of where I am at. Facebook, I'm fine. Instagram, I'm still learning the stuff.
Yeah. No, that's good. I see you on
Yeah.
there. It's just another platform, right, to embrace.
Exactly. I need to post more pics. That's for sure.
Yeah, man, you got all those books behind you. Show us some goods,
Yeah. The problem is, it's like working out to get those damn books out of there.
I hear you. Speaking of working out, I know you were saying before, I know that you, well, at least when you're able to hit the gym. And I know the pandemic has kind of slowed you down on that, but there you go. That could be your workout, moving all those boxes around.
Yeah. My next project is I want to get the plastic boxes.
Oh, yeah. I started picking them up little by little. Yeah. They're
But
good.
they're so damn expensive.
They are. They're worth it though. If you can, once you get them going and they stack well, it also just looks nice, looks cleaner.
Yeah. I mean, I need like 50 of them.
I was gonna say, I have 5 right now, and I still need more.
So
And I could tell you need a lot.
I think if I buy it by bulk at like 10 a pop, it ends up costing me like $2,000.
Yeah, I know you can get like deals if you buy in bulk, but yeah, that's a lot. 50 boxes is a lot.
Yeah.
What's up, Desired Comics? Good to see you, man. I wanted to highlight before Kirk was saying MegaCon was supposed to be my first con.
I've heard nothing but great things about that con.
Yeah.
That and Dragon Con and Heroes Con down in Carolina, I think it is.
Yeah.
Are supposed to be amazing cons.
Same. Yeah, same here. Have you been to Baltimore Con?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to go there, and I tried it whenever I try to go to places. I try to go for the city too.
Yeah.
A lot of times my mom will go with me. She likes to travel. I'm like, hey, it'll cut my price. I don't care.
Totally.
So like when we went to New York, we a couple times went there, went to Broadway shows and went on tour and all that stuff. So I'd like to go to Baltimore and check out the sights and cities of Baltimore.
Yeah, the harbor down there is the place to go. I mean, the convention center is right in the harbor too, but the food is amazing, especially if you like seafood. There's a lot of cool things to do and check out down there. I wanted to highlight this real quick, Sith Lordly, little known fact.
Yeah, see, that hurts me from a fellow Raider fan. I mean, he's going to get it tonight. I mean, he's lucky. There's a reason he hasn't invited me back on his show in a while.
There it is. Baltimore Con is one of the best in the country. Facts. Yeah, I've gone to it multiple times. Baltimore Con's a lot of fun. And luckily for me, it's somewhat in driving distance as I'm up in Jersey, so not as bad. But yeah, man, if you ever get a chance, definitely. And then we could all meet up. That'd be. And I can't wait for 2021, man. Everybody can start meeting up again.
Damn boomerang. She gets kicked out and she comes right back.
It's all good. I like having another guest. It's all good. Mercy said if I lived in the US, I would go on a road trip and visit as many as possible. Yeah. One day, man, come on over to the back to the US.
But see, I like cons like New York Comic Con where it's actually a con.
Right.
It's San Diego I love and it'll always be there, but I'd rather go if I can go to New York every year, I'd go to New York every year. Because it's a better con.
Definitely. And obviously depending on what your goals are and who you want to meet, there's a much larger selection there. So all right, so let's jump forward here a little bit to let's start with some of the things that you're reading. What are some series that you're reading right now that you're really enjoying, like a top 5 or so?
Obviously Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
Even before the whole Lecter thing, I actually thought Chip Zdarsky was going to be crap, and then picked him up and I was like, Jesus, this guy can actually write. I really dig in what he's doing, especially after Charlie Soleil was writing and did such amazing. I didn't think it was going to be possible.
Yeah.
Trying to think, what else am I reading? Every X book possible.
Mm-hmm.
Marauders is probably my favorite out of all the X books.
Yep. I'm behind right now, but I'm enjoying all the X books. I haven't
Yeah,
gotten to the X of Swords yet.
it's a good storyline.
Yeah.
It's wonky, but it's good. Trying to think what else. Batman's been good, but I'm not on that hype train of Tyrion.
Yeah.
I think he's okay.
Mhm.
Truth, what do you call it? Department of Truth.
Oh yeah, yeah. Is that
Um,
good?
I that's really good. If you get a chance, pick that up. We've all been hyping that over in our area.
And that's Tinian, right? That's also Tinian.
That is Tinian, and
Okay.
that I will give him credit. That has been pretty damn good.
Hmm.
Um, and
Hip hops and me. What's up, brother?
what's up, Stevie? I'm trying to think. There's one other that I just had on top of my head, and then it just disappeared. You know how it is. You read too many damn books. I read
Well,
like 40 books a month.
well, I was gonna say I know you're a big time reader in general, and obviously Star Wars is a big one on your list.
That was the other one I was gonna say. Is Star Wars. Yeah,
All right, now are
yeah.
you reading like all the different Star Wars titles right now?
Let's put it this way: I read all the Star Wars title, all the X titles. I read the Star Wars novels.
Hmm.
Um, I'm
Nice.
pretty much on everything right now. It's crazy. I mean,
What
I've
about
got stacks of books.
from like the indie side of things? Are you reading anything from Studios or Image or any of the other?
I started just getting into Something Killing the Children.
Oh, nice. Same here.
Thank you, Hood Rat, for reminding me on that one. Uh, I started reading that. I'm really looking forward to a book coming out this next week that we're going to talk about tomorrow called The Expanse.
Okay.
Uh, it's from basically there's a TV show called The Expanse on Netflix or on Amazon, and I'm reading the novels for those right now.
Oh, okay. They were novels.
I am enjoying the current Spider-Man run of him getting killed repeatedly in every issue.
Yeah.
Um, but other than that, that's pretty much. I mean, as far as indie stuff comes, like Seven Eternity, anything that's like Hickman, I'm a
Hmm.
big writer person.
Okay.
Like I'll read anything Garth Ennis writes, anything Warren Ellis writes, Grant Morrison. A lot
Yeah.
of those English writers, I'll read pretty much anything they write
Yeah.
if I can find it.
Are you? And I kind of know the answer to this, but do you read anything digitally, or are you all physical in terms of reading your books?
So I'm blind as a bat without my contacts, and my eyesight's getting worse. So I actually do read a lot of stuff on a tablet.
Okay.
Because it's nice because I can go like this and expand it and read.
Right.
I do buy the comic also, so I have the physical copy because I do believe in supporting the
Yeah.
industry.
Absolutely.
It's just easier for me to be able to read it off if I can scan it.
Definitely.
I still love reading books, but if I can get it digitally, I'll get it digitally.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I kind of like the overall experience a little bit more, but I definitely will, like you said, I will still buy the physical book as well. Just I don't. That's something I don't want ever to go away. Obviously, it's
Right.
such a importance to the industry. So
Well, and it's so intricate because I can buy off of Comixology, I can buy a book for $3, or I can buy Sword for $3, whatever. I
right.
know it's probably like $10 what I pay, but this I can actually hold on to and have it 10 years down the road.
Yeah.
And if I want to sell it, I could sell it. The other thing, you don't make any money off it if you ever choose to sell it.
Right.
It just doesn't take space. And I'm like, I'd rather pay 99 cents for something like that. But
Yeah. 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 So, and speaking of, when we're talking about selling and stuff that you just mentioned, what's like the overall goal for you in terms of your collection and where you see it going in the next, 20 years? Are you just keeping everything? Are you, flipping some books here and there? Do you plan to pass this down to other family members at some point, or?
so I'm a only bastard. I mean, only child.
Mhm.
So I don't have any kids. Haven't found a woman that'll put up my crap yet. So I don't have anyone to necessarily pass my collection on to.
Yeah.
Um, it'll probably end up being whoever has a kid that I'm friends with, possibly Ian's son. Who knows down the road.
Mm.
Far as right now, I do flip some stuff, but for the most part, I don't. I'm just not a big hustler when it comes to flipping stuff to get other stuff. I mean, it's one
Yeah.
thing if I'm trying to upgrade books, Like I've sold like an X-Men, giant size X-Men #1, so I can upgrade to the next level.
Okay. Right.
Um, but I'm not like Alonzo. Alonzo and Ian are awesome at that, where they can go, okay, I'm going to buy this book for $50, hold on to it for a few months, sell for $200.
Yep.
I've just never been that guy. I know what's there. I just don't got the hustle.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, I mean, it seems that reading is first and foremost for you, and it's one of the best things about the hobby. So,
Yeah.
yeah, if you're able to flip a book here and there, that's I guess that's a nice gesture that comes along with everything else. But, I do like that how much you're into it in terms of really reading the stories and things like that. Um, I see a lot of different mixed people in the community as a whole, and everybody has the right to collect for whatever reasons they want to. But
Oh yeah.
I always encourage people to take time to read the book, because that's the entertainment right there, more
Oh
so
yeah.
than
Well,
anything.
so my whole thing, and it's like I'm not against either side.
Yeah,
The only issue I have is when people purposely try to inflate something.
sure,
Like we'll go out and purposely short something just so they can turn around and put it on eBay for 10 times, kind of like with the Electro for Daredevil 19. That Daredevil just came out.
right,
And I just go, well, it's going to, in 3 months, she's not going to be Daredevil anymore. That book's going to go down to $5 book, and you're just screwing somebody out of $20.
right.
I just can't do that. I have a hard time with that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it definitely can be frustrating. Depending how it all plays out. I actually missed that book, Daredevil 25, when it came out, and have the second print on order now and everything. But I don't really do a pull list or anything. So I always just thought, like, okay, I'll just grab the next Daredevil, like,
Oh
casually
yeah,
whenever.
because Daredevil, Daredevil is that one hero of Marvel that no one reads. I
Right.
mean, as much I love Daredevil, I've got almost a complete run. I'm missing about 50 issues
Mhm.
to have
Nice.
all the way back to #1.
Nice.
But he's just that character that everyone's like, yeah, we'll get to him eventually. And his back issues are cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the ones that I'm still putting together in terms of a run, at least for the first 200, is where I'm starting at, but about halfway there. But yeah, a lot of them are affordable for sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Especially in the first 200, there's not much other than Bullseye and Elektra and
right.
the first 10.
Yep. I like to talk, or I know we talked about this, off air before, but do you have some books that you want to show off? Something that, some books that mean something special to you?
Well, sure. Let's go with I always say, like I was saying earlier, this is just one thing. It's not worth anything,
Mhm.
but I love this series.
Wait,
It's
let me plug in
yeah,
here. Oops.
it's Daredevil Man Without. Whoops.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
There we go.
Daredevil Man Without Fear. I mean, it's the whole run. It's just his origin story.
Mhm.
But if you ever get a chance, this is one of those books. Frank Miller wrote all these. He drew
Yep.
them. They're amazing. It's a cheap book. I think actually, I'm sorry, John Romita Jr. drew them all,
Mm.
but he might as well have been Frank Miller because he just does the same art. Uh, sorry, Spider-Man fans. Um, this is one of my grails as a kid.
Oh, nice.
Is a Wolverine. I want to get a higher grade. I know Eric's got a higher grade than him, and it kills me that he has a higher grade than me. Eventually, I'll get there, but for now, it works.
Yeah, it's still a huge book, man. Just to have it,
Yeah,
it's something on
I
my
mean,
list.
I literally shook when I got this. I was just like, oh god. And then this is my baby,
Woo. Yep. Yep.
giant size X-Men. I
Damn.
mean,
Nice
I'm an
7.5.
I'm an X-Men kid at heart.
Yep.
I those are my big ones. I mean, I got a bunch of art stuff. No, you can't claim that, Hood Rat. Maybe your son can. Uh, but those are my big ones. I mean, I'm still hunting for more down the road. I mean, I still want first Havoc. I want first I want all the X-Men run. I've got my X-Men runs down to like 114.
Okay.
I've got a solid run.
Yeah.
It's just so freaking expensive.
Yeah, man, especially the Claremont stuff. It's been
Well,
insane.
I'm almost out of the Claremont stuff
That's good.
because I've got like that 100 114 is the Claremont stuff that I'm missing.
Okay.
But it's just when you start getting First Phoenix, which I do have that. First Phoenix, you have First Alpha Flight, you have First Myra McTaggart, which is now going crazy, Polaris,
Yep.
Havoc.
Even some of those like 94, 95, like those early, like Claremont's first, work on the run as a whole, those are really starting to get up there. 94 is definitely starting to get up there.
Yeah. Well, I think isn't 94 McTaggart?
No, that's 96, the yellow.
That's okay. Yeah, that's right.
But that one is too. Yeah. I mean, basically, I've been shopping them out and looking for them. And, I've over the past year or so, I've been seeing the prices go up. Even the ones that are not significant, if you get them in mid grade, they're going to cost you like 25, $20 to $30, somewhere in that range.
Yeah. And see, my thing is I've been trying to balance for a while there. I was going, okay, let me do X-Men. And then I'd go to a local shop here in town. That you and I have talked about, A1 Comics.
Yeah.
And when they have sales, and I would go there and go, okay, I'll bring like $200 or $150. I'll buy like 2 key X-Men issues, and then I'll fill the rest of it in with Daredevil stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's like I can't even for $150. I can't buy 2 because when I buy X-Men stuff or Daredevil stuff, I'm looking for 9s.
Yeah.
I want a high grade.
Sure.
And so I've been working on my Daredevil, especially I had a friend that got this amazing collection he got for $1,000 a head. First Punisher, first Wolverine,
whoa,
first Morbius, just Scott Lang's first, and all in like 8.5 bed. The Wolverine by itself was a 9.4.
Wow.
He bought it for $1,000,
Jeez.
And this was last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane, man.
Well, he had like the guy who was collected Daredevil also, and he had like a run of like 70 issues.
Wow.
And I was just like, if he gave them to me at a great price, because he knows I love Daredevil. So I was like, yep, got to grab them. I even got like the 35-cent variants out of that that are hard to find.
Nice.
So,
damn. Yeah, man. I didn't realize how big of an X-Men fan you were. We got to have you on the show on Tuesdays. Me and John's Comics with Kids, we do a Omni X-Men show every Tuesday.
Oh yeah, no, I'm a huge. That was my first passion.
Yeah. That's Well, so we're doing we're reading the omnibus. So I actually have this is the second one here, but we're actually started with the first one. But
Nice.
we both bought the first volume of Claremont stuff, and
right.
And we both were fans. I started reaching out to him about it, and we were like, "Hey, you want to start a show? We'll kind of review and break down each issue one by one." So we've been doing that for the past couple of months, and we've been having different guests, and we're looking for more X-Men fans to jump on once in a while.
Have you got to the Silvestri stuff yet?
No, we literally have just done Claremont's with Dave Cockrum so far. We're on issue 106. We just finished, and we're just going in order. So
very nice.
Yeah, we'll have to touch base later and maybe plan something out because that'd be cool to have you on.
No, definitely, because like I said, I love X-Men. I mean,
yeah,
especially it's the Silvestri drawing phase. I love Jim Lee, but that X-Men like 151, I think it is, with Wolverine on the cross.
Oh yeah,
it's one of my favorite covers of all time.
I had it. Oh, it's not up there right now. I did have it up there. That's a great one though. Yeah, someone AOK'd that to me actually as a 9.8.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's I love that cover. So I wanted to ask you. I mean, I always bring this up here in the show. And by the way, guys, if anyone's not following JR, all the information is in the description below, including the Team Nerd Herd YouTube page. So I know JR, you're doing a lot of stuff on YouTube. I love the content that the team's putting out. So guys, make sure you're following that. I see Rod's.
We got a lot more coming too.
Cool.
Stuff that I got to edit still.
Good to see you, Rod. Also Raging Cajun Comics in the house as well. Good to see you guys. So I wanted to ask you, if you have some advice for someone new that might be just trying to get into this hobby and might be a little overwhelmed with what to do, where to start, where to read, any general advice for that kind of stuff?
Well, my thing is, the first thing for Team Nerd Herd in general, we always say collect what you like.
Yeah.
What we mean by that is there's people that are all into the art, that it's just art. There's people that are into the horror stuff. There's people that are into writing stuff. Figure out what you like. Go around and like think of movies that you've seen, and you're like, hey, I really like Ghostbusters or whatever, and kind of say to your comic book shop guy, go, hey, this is the stuff I enjoy, or these are the TV shows I enjoy, and have them kind of point you in that direction. Because I'll tell you one thing, not every X book is the same.
Yep.
Not every sci-fi book is the same.
Yep.
There's some great books that are out there, and there's something for everyone. Like, I'm not a political person, but one of my favorite books of all time is Transmetropolitan, that a lot of people don't even know of.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with it.
So, you know who Anthony Bourdain is, right?
Yeah.
Think of his show No Limits or Anthony Bourdain No Reservations, but as a comic book, and the guy is political.
Okay.
It's a great book. It was done in the 90s. It was done by Helix Comics, which was originally the precursor to Vertigo Comics.
Oh, okay.
And then the rest of the run got finished in Vertigo. But there's something out there for everyone. You just got to find out what you like and take a chance, because not everything is going to be the same. Like, if you don't like Spider-Man, there may be actually a Spider-Man book that I like. I don't know. But just because you don't like Fantastic Four doesn't mean you're not going to like the X-Men.
Right.
Just because you don't like Batman doesn't mean you're not going to like Superman. So it's kind of find out what you like. And a lot of times you'll find there's certain writers that I will follow to the end of the earth.
Yep.
Kevin Smith, when he writes a book, I will read it. I hope that he's finished writing it before he puts it out.
Right.
So I don't get a Daredevil target again.
Right.
But I mean, I even read his Black Cat book that he did featuring Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But that to me is a big thing. And read comics to enjoy comics. If you want to flip them, that's a whole different thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're getting into comics, get into it because you want to read them, or you love the art. There's some amazing art. I've looked at some amazing Jim Lee books, and the story was horrible.
Right.
But it was a beautiful book.
Yeah, it was still worth going through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just for the art. 100%, man. Totally agree. And great point too about the writers, because that, I mean, you certainly could pick up a character and hate or not like, certain runs of that character, but then love other runs of that same character.
Oh yeah.
And a big part of that is the writer or just the creators in general, the artwork, and everything.
Like, I love X-Men, but one of the worst runs I ever read was written by Chuck Austin. I actually got drug out by friends. I was near his table at a Comic-Con, and it was bad-mouthing him to his face. Yeah. And my friends literally dragged me away from him, like, you're going to get us kicked out. Yeah. Let's go.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hysterical. Well, I'm totally on board, man. And I like the advice. I've had a lot of people come on kind of say, similar things in that, it definitely is one of the best places to start is just figuring out what you love and going from there. So, I like what you guys talk about on Team Nerd Herd and that you push that kind of message. So it's always good stuff to hear. I think, so I wanted to jump into, sorry, was there something else you wanted to add or?
No, I was just going to say, I mean, the nice thing with Team Nerd Herd is we've got the whole rainbow. We got the whole different, everyone likes different things.
Yeah.
So that's the one good thing when you watch our show is there's some stuff Steve put up and I'm just like, wow, that's interesting. There's some stuff that Alonzo puts up and I'm just like, I love you, Alonzo, but you're drinking the Kool-Aid. But we each respect our opinions, and we each enjoy what we like. And that's all I can say.
Well, and that's what's great about the hobby. It's what's great about the community is being able to have those opinions and also respect them and just have a good mix. And that's why I like the show that you guys put on because I like that you guys don't always disagree or that you guys don't always agree on things. And being able to hear different perspectives definitely kind of, it educates me just to hear both sides of it,
Yeah.
So it's always helpful. All right, I wanted to get into some of the rapid questions. And for those of you guys hanging out, you guys know the deal. JR going to hit you with just a couple random questions. Some of them are going to be comic book related, others are not, and we can kind of go down that rabbit hole. And then from there, we'll close out. You can share any last minute things that you want to share, and then we'll close out from there.
Okay.
So first and foremost, you mentioned earlier today that Wolverine was your number one. However, you also shared how much you really like Daredevil. So my big question for you is, who is your number one favorite character of all time?
Wolverine.
Okay, without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
But Daredevil's up there.
Daredevil's up there. The only reason I think Daredevil gets slightly down is Wolverine is more of who I am.
Gotcha.
I could see myself in him.
Sure.
I mean, I've got the fur,
I love it. I love it. All right. So what about villain? Who's your favorite villain of all time?
Kingpin is got my heart. I mean, because I just think intellectually he's not the strongest. I won't ever say he's gonna beat Galactus or anything.
Sure.
But I just like the fact that it's about his brain first. Yes, he's strong and got the brawn, but like if you watch that Daredevil, I want to say it's the White Rabbit episode, White Rabbit in a Snowstorm, I think it's called. Just the brilliance of watching that and understanding that he's got this brain, he's got this big guy, he's kind of a monster, but there's something to him. I just relate to that.
Yeah.
I was always picked on as a kid. I've always been real strong, and I'd like to think I'm intelligent. But I just relate to that, that character in the sense of I may not be able to just go out there and punch you, but I may be able to get someone to go do this and take care of it.
Right.
But I will say Thrawn and Magneto are right up there with them. Those are my other three.
Okay.
Or other two.
Yeah, those are all great choices and definitely up there for me as well. Magneto especially. All right, cool. What about if you could have a superpower, one superpower, what would that superpower be?
Ooh, that one would be tough. Is Slender a superpower?
Super metabolism.
Yeah, I don't know because I mean I wouldn't want telepathy because I got enough voices in my head. I don't need other people's voices in my head. Yeah, I guess maybe super intelligence.
Okay.
Maybe
yeah.
that. I could
you could do a lot with it for sure.
Yeah, I think that would probably be it. I probably could find a way to lose weight with that.
Definitely.
And figure out how to do stuff and not have to listen to other people. So yeah.
Raging says that's a first. It is a first because it's always interesting to hear what people have to say. And we get I would say about 50% of the people on this show say flight as their number one thing. So it is a good change up to hear.
Flight would be nice. Flight would be nice, but you can get flight in other ways.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. That is very true. I dig it, man. I dig it. All right. What about I like to ask this question about if you could have, let's say dinner with one artist or writer. We'll just say
Warren Ellis.
What did it say creator? Warren Ellis. Oh,
Warren Ellis, hands down.
Wow.
He wrote Transmetropolitan. I know he got Me Too'd recently, and I know he's a weird guy, but he's definitely somebody that I would love to just sit down and just listen to.
Yeah.
So yeah, him. I mean, the next person would be Kevin Smith behind that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. Yeah, I like it. Oh, we got Off White Tim in the house. What's up, Tim? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. So all right. What about favorite superhero film of all time?
That's tough because I I'm gonna pull a shocker for you guys because I think the perfect superhero film ever done was Spider-Man 2.
Whoa! I wasn't
Now,
expecting you to
now,
say that.
now, this is the thing. It was perfectly done in the sense of that is like if I pick up a comic of Spider-Man, that's how he is in the book. That's how Doc Ock is in the book. Did I like that portrayal of Spider-Man? No, I like Amazing Spider-Man. I like the other kid that did Amazing Spider-Man, but he wasn't Spider-Man. Um, for me though, probably my favorite, probably be Logan.
Mm.
I mean that made me ball at the end. I just, yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, Logan too. That's another one up there. Eric actually mentioned Logan on his Azores Tiger when he was on last
yeah.
week. That's definitely a great one. Yeah, I mean, I love the Spider-Man stuff. Especially, I mean, 1 and 2. I really enjoyed those. Obviously, just shocked at knowing your hatred for
I,
Spider-Man.
this is the thing. I will give respect when it's due, and I do think that all around they did an amazing job.
Yeah,
Um, I just don't like the character. It's just one of those things. Like I've seen every Spider-Man movie in the theaters,
yeah,
and the reason I do that is because every time one of those Spider-Man or X-Men go in theaters and you make them big, you got a better chance of getting those smaller movies to be made into movies.
totally.
Now we get Guardians of the Galaxy and we get Ant-Man. No one ever thought Ant-Man would come in theaters,
Yeah, no.
but if it wasn't for how well X-Men did and how well Iron Man and stuff like that did, that's how we get those.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. It's a good point. Kirk, I'm with you. Was not a fan of 3 either
Yeah, I don't think
overall.
anyone was.
Yeah. Steve said, "Whoa." Cool, man. All right, so let's change it up a little bit. I have a couple questions for you that are not comic book related.
Okay.
First one being, let's talk a little bit about music. Where do you stand with music exactly? What are you currently listening to? What's your favorite artist right now? And then, I actually do want to ask you too about radio because I know you mentioned a little bit
Okay.
about your history with that. So, I'll kind of throw all that at you.
So I'm still pretty much stuck in the '90s. It's one of those things. I try to listen to current music. There's some I'll listen to Eminem and some of the current hip hop stuff. I think rock is dead, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I love rock. I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan. I think Slash is one of the best guitarists of all time.
Classics, yeah.
Um, I love Rage Against the Machine. Tom Morello, another amazing guitarist.
Hell yeah.
Um, I love Led Zeppelin, but I just think in the last like 20 years, there hasn't been much for rock. I think everything's been hip hop or or R&B in that genre.
Mhm.
Um, but I'll still go back and I'd rather listen to Boys to Men back in the day.
Oh, nice.
Listen to them or Salt and Pepper or Queen Latifah even.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
You know what I mean? It or go back to Wu Tang. I mean, it took me a while to appreciate Wu Tang, but I do appreciate them now.
I like Wu Tang. So what's like your number one or like your go to in terms of if you're working out at the gym or you know
If I'm working out at the gym, I probably will put on hard rock. I'll probably put on what do you call it, Pantera.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that's the
I
good stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm not that type of person, but I love Pantera. I mean, there's one of the bands I wish I would have seen when I worked security at concerts.
Mm. Oh,
Um,
nice.
yeah.
Very cool. What about oh yeah, so you mentioned a little bit, so you used to be into radio a little bit. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I went when I was in high school. Our high school had a radio station, and I spent my last 3 years pretty much always in there. Like my last year of high school, all but one of my classes was in radio.
Mm.
We used to do on-air stuff, did morning shows, and did after-hour shows, and I loved it because it was I just sit in there, listen to music, and we do a talk show, just babble on. Um, the only problem we ever had was we were known for we wouldn't break the rules, but
Hmm.
the next day after our show, there would be a rule made up because of something we did on the prior show.
Hmm.
So we were always making new rules, unfortunately.
Nice. Oh,
Is
down.
that System of Down
So there's
Phil some yeah. Phil Someone's old band.
the other down. Yeah. Nice.
I just wish he wasn't a prick.
All right. So what about if you could have your choice of any, let's say it's Friday night and house to yourself, you choose in terms of the meal that you want to go to, your go-to Friday night dinner, whether it's ordering or cooking yourself or going out somewhere. What would that be? What's your go-to?
It'd probably be Mexican food.
Nice.
I for whatever I think it's part of being in California.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
just have to have Mexican food. I'm Italian and German,
Mm.
and I will eat Mexican food 7 days a week if I could.
Yeah.
Anything pretty much, as long as it doesn't have cilantro. But yeah, pretty much something super spicy. Probably there's a restaurant here in town that has chili Colorado that I love, and I've been
Nice.
going there for like 30 years, and have them make it as spicy as possible.
It's funny. I am totally opposite when it comes to spice, man. Ketchup is as far as I go.
Yeah, see, I can't. I'm one of those idiots. A quick funny story is we
Yeah.
went to one of the first cons I went to San Diego. My buddy Anthony brought a friend from his work,
Mm.
and this guy didn't know me. I didn't know him. We're at this cheap Mexican restaurant, this little taco stand, and they have the little salsa bars, and they have the jalapenos and sliced jalapenos on.
Yeah.
So they quartered a jalapeno up, and he's Mexican. We go back to the table, and we all bring food, and he's like, "You know how to cut the heat on these jalapenos? Pour a little salt on them." Mind you, I'm sitting there with the 4 jalapenos put together and just chomping on it like it's a carrot stick. And he's looking at me going, "What the heck is wrong with you?"
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I've got a video of a friend that I ate a habanero pepper whole without any problem.
Wow.
So,
Damn. Do you do like the hot wings and stuff, like the over the top hot wings?
oh yeah, yeah.
Football Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's every year for the start of football season. I have to have my wings. Super Bowl, you have to have the wings. I've even gone like Buffalo Wild Wings. They have the contest of
Oh yeah.
eat 6 of our hottest wings in 2 minutes.
Yep.
I'll finish in a minute and be like, "Do you have anything hotter?"
Jeez. Don't you get like a T-shirt for that or something too?
You get a T-shirt and a photo on the wall, but I'm that idiot white guy that'll walk into a Mexican restaurant and go, "Yeah, give me the hottest thing."
Oh my gosh.
I'll go to a Thai restaurant and be like, "Yeah, this triple X hot spicy wasn't spicy enough. Can you try again harder?"
Oh my gosh, man. I'm sweating just thinking about this stuff, man.
Yeah. I don't have any brains when it comes to heat. It's weird.
It's great. Maybe that's the superpower right there, man. Handling any heat. Let's talk about sports. We were talking a little bit before the show. Let the people know where you stand with football, and then of course any other, are you in any other sports as well?
Raider Nation all the way. As far as I'm concerned, it's football season, and there's not football season. I was raised. I used to love baseball.
Okay.
I love the Oakland A's. I'll still root for the A's.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, I can't name a player on the A's.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those guys that will claim them and you go, "Hey, who's," you know what I mean? It's like I root for them if they go to the World Series. Like, awesome. If the Raiders went to the World Series, you'll probably see me cry.
Right.
Or go to the Super Bowl, I should say.
Yeah.
Basketball, I used to be a Pistons fan back in the day. When it was Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boys, Bill Laimbeer, Dennis Rodman.
Yep.
I just got tired of basketball being between like 2 teams every year, like the same 2 teams every year.
Yeah.
Other than that, is there any other sports I'm missing?
Yeah, no, I mean, just anything else that you watch or anything else that you kind of care about. Do you watch any hockey or anything like that? Or
I never got into hockey. I have a friend that was a huge hockey fan, and actually, I guess a cousin on my mom's side was the announcer for the Pittsburgh Penguins for the longest time. But I was never into it. Like, actually, I don't know if you remember, there was a '90s film with John Claude Van Damme. That was at a hockey stadium where they end up blowing up the stadium at the end.
I can picture. I feel like I can picture something with him.
Someone probably knows it in the chat.
Yeah.
My cousin or whatever was in that movie, and he was actually that was the old Penguins stadium before they got the brand new one.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So other than that, no real hockey for you.
No, I got too much other stuff, too many other sports or the other things to do. You know what I mean? I don't even get to play on video games much anymore.
Yeah, same here. I used to be big into it, and over the past couple of years, I haven't even touched any video games really. But like you said, I like that you laid it out as there's football season and then there's not football season. That's kind of where I live too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, Raiders looking good, man. I know we talked a little bit about it, but
yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to be. They're not Super Bowl bound. They may be a first round win, but that's about it.
Right. Hey,
But
at
I
least
think they're going the right
for
steps. Yep.
For sure.
And they're not the Niners.
Yep, that's that's a plus two. That is a plus two. Poor Niners, man, they are all falling apart.
Oh, I love it.
I know.
I love it. And anytime San Francisco teams can go down the drain, that just makes me happy.
Yeah. Well, good stuff, man. Good stuff. That's pretty much wraps it up in terms of some of the questions I wanted to throw your way. It's nice to get to know you a little bit more, other than just comic books. I've made so many friends through YouTube and through Instagram. It's just been cool to hang out and get to know people like you. So,
Oh yeah, well, it's
yeah,
a good
man.
community.
100% agree. Guys, if you're not following JR, make sure you do. His information's in the description below. If you guys are watching the replay, thanks for taking the time to watch the replay. I really appreciate that. Shout out to the chat. You guys have been great. You've been hilarious. Been some funny stuff today. So always a pleasure seeing everybody. Before we wrap up, JR, is there anything, what do you got going on? I know you got a lot of things going on, but what are some things that are going on in your world coming up?
So obviously Team Nerd Herd. We got that. We've got our shows twice a week, but we've got some surprises coming up. Well, like we had this last month, we had Frank Cho. We dropped on Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah.
So we might have another, not as big as Frank Cho. I won't say any names, but we'll probably have one coming out sometime around Christmas, I think. Soon as we record it and edit it, there'll be another big one for people. We got Alonzo's been doing amazing. I call him our talent agent.
Nice.
I love Alonzo. I love you to death. You drive me nuts sometimes, but he does some amazing fucking pulls. I mean, he brought Frank Cho. He's bring Sweeney Boo.
Wow.
He brought Chuck Brown to the show. Jimmy Palmiotti. He's making some of my dreams come true. There's a big one coming up that we're doing, and then we got a couple more this next year that are going to be awesome.
That is dope, man. You guys are killing it, man. You guys are at like over 500 subscribers.
We're at 575. We're trying to get to that 1,000 mark. We want to catch up with Pressable Defects.
Totally.
But yeah, we got that coming. There's a show that Steve and I are going to be doing pretty soon. We're going to do a kind of a comic book review show.
Oh, cool.
Old versus new kind of thing we got working on.
I dig it.
So I'm looking for that. Yeah, and then you got his new show. We just announced this last week that he's going to be doing about the stock market.
I saw that.
And how related to comics starting, I think today is when it is. Is
that live or that's going to be a
I believe that's going to be a live show.
Oh, cool.
Because Ian does not want to edit, as he says.
Right. Okay.
I pretty much do all the editing now. Even though I'm the backup editor, as I like to say. But yeah, so we got a lot of stuff coming, and it's going to be a weird year. And we're getting close to our year anniversary. I mean, we're only like 3 or so months away.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I love the hustle. Love what you guys are doing over there. Mercy's got following you now too. So
thank
good
you,
stuff.
Sir.
Cool, brother. Well, I appreciate everything.
It's next Saturday. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Ian, there he is. Okay, perfect. Yeah, check all that stuff out, guys. Team Nerd Herd's doing a lot of things and loving all that stuff. JR, start posting some books, man, on Instagram. I want to see some good stuff, man.
Yeah, I need to start doing that. I got to get on it. Ian's been getting on my ass about that too.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, very cool. I appreciate you being on here, brother. We'll definitely have to do some more collaborating down the road for sure.
Oh, definitely. We'll have to get you on our show again.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, we'll definitely do some more stuff. So thanks, man. I appreciate you being on here. And thanks everybody for coming out, hanging out this Saturday. And I'll be back again next Saturday. Got another guest lined up. So you guys will find that out middle of the week. And until then, we'll talk to you guys later.